Coming up next on Get Caught in a Net.
Get caught in a net with a net. For your mind, body, and soul gets caught in a net with a net. It's your intellectual radio show, here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with a net.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your hosts, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Great afternoon, guys. Welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I'm your host, your girl, Annette Harris. So excited to be here with you. I am also the CEO of Get Caught in a Net Incorporated, your certified positive mental health ambassador and author of Surviving a Silenced Heartbeat. I am so excited to be with you guys on today. I always get excited every Wednesday. It's wonderful to come before you and bring you more quality programming. And today is going to be a wonderful, wonderful segment. I have a great guest that I'm going to bring in. But before we get started, Lord, we thank you for all things. We thank you for what you've done, what you're going to do, how you're blessing us, and how you're helping us through whatever it is that we're dealing with. We ask that you would get the glory out of this segment and everything we go to say and do. In Jesus' name we pray. And the opening scripture is the first part of Hosea 4:6, and it states, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee." And of course, we do not want to be rejected by God. We want to attain as much knowledge as we can while we're here in this present world. I am going to present to you guys a beautiful guest. But let me tell you, we are live on our Facebook page, Annette Get Caught in the Net, also Instagram, Get Caught in the Net, and then, of course, on YouTube. And my channel, Get Caught in It Incorporated. And we do encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, click the bell so that you will know when we go live. We would really appreciate that. We try to build up that channel over there. So let's see. Let me do this. I want to read a little bio, then I'll bring her in from the virtual room. Rhea Ray Harris is the CEO of Dusk to Daybreak Transformational Coaching. And oh my goodness. I'm trying to, let me pull this up here, guys, so I can see it real good. All right, because I want to make sure that I say everything that's on here. All right, so she is the CEO of Dusk to Daybreak Transformational Coaching and Speaking International, founder and national director of the Beyond Beautiful World pageant, and a licensed realtor in Illinois, Indiana, and Punta Cana. Did y'all hear me? All right. Challenging women to overcome the fear of success in their careers, relationships, and lives is her primary mission. I love that. Rhea currently resides in Chicago, Illinois with her husband, Daniel. She has one son A. Ahmad Hill, and a trusty companion, Black the Wonder Dog. I met Black earlier, guys. So, yeah, we are going to bring her in from the virtual waiting room and have you look at this beautiful woman of God. How are you doing on today?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for having me on Get Caught in a Net.
Well, thank you for coming to Get Caught in the Net on today. You have so much that we want to talk about on today. You wear many, many hats, which I love. I see you around. I see you doing your thing, and I'm like, go ahead, my sister, go ahead, do it, do it. And so today we are going to focus on your project, but I want to start first with asking you. I read your bio, a little bit of your bio, and it was a short bio that she gave me, guys, but I know she has much more to put on there. But if you would not mind doing for me, introducing yourself to my audience, who is Rhea Ray? If someone was to come and ask you, talk to us about who you are personally. You can throw in a little professional, whatever you want to share with us on today.
Well, firstly, Rhea Ray Harris Yarbrough is a child of God. That's number one. And everything else that I am that is good is from him. That is
Come on.
not so good is based on me. And I accept my responsibility in that. I was born and raised on the southeast side of Chicago, where I still reside, and graduated from Arthur Dixon Elementary School, Whitney Young High School. You know, people like to get off into that. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I am a life member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I was a Cook County adult probation officer for over 32 years before I retired. So I spent my entire adult life in that career and was fortunate enough to start planning for what I knew was going to be my retirement by becoming a licensed realtor. I do have an addition to that list since I gave you the bio. I started in Illinois, then I got licensed in Indiana. Then I started in Punta Cana, and now I am also affiliated with a brokerage in Ghana on the continent of Africa. So I will be going to Ghana this December, and prayerfully, I will be working real estate tours twice a year in Punta Cana and twice a year in Ghana starting next year. I am the national director of the Beyond Beautiful World pageant, which is a national pageant. This is our third annual pageant this November 4th. This is for women 21 and older. Those are the diamonds are 21 to 29. The rubies are 30 to 39. The emeralds are 40 to 49. And the sapphires are 50 and older. So there is a spot for you. We have not all the quote unquote traditional pageant fare. We have some of it. We have the evening gown, the onstage question and answer. We have the talent, which is optional. We have also, though, some very inspirational, not traditional things. One of the mandatory parts of the pageant, which is called an area of competition, is the Phoenix Rising testimonial,
Hmm.
where each delegate speaks about something that she has achieved, overcome, or a combination of both. We've had such powerful testimonies as people surviving childhood sexual trauma to certain things that aren't so heavy but are just as important. One of our delegates this year is a Division One volleyball champion, and she
Okay.
wants to talk about that road. So we have also the Black Pearl Pitch competition, which is for our delegates who either have a not-for-profit or a for-profit or an idea for either one of those, and they're actually pitching in front of a panel of judges for the top winner to get a financial prize, a mentorship, and other benefits from participating. So this is a celebration of womanhood. That's always our hashtag, celebration of womanhood. And second one, quote unquote, celebration of womanhood and leave no queen behind.
All right.
So we have women of all ethnicities, as long as they're adults, and all abilities. Our first year, we had a stroke survivor. Last year, we had a delegate with a traumatic brain injury. This year, we have a delegate with club hands because we all are differently able. Some of ours is just more obvious.
Yeah.
So, very excited about the pageant. And now starting the Dust to Daybreak transformational coaching and speaking. And my book, Girl Bye 10 Lies Women Think and Tell Themselves About Men, is a part of that business.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm so excited. Elder McGee put on here. Rhea is the real boss lady.
Elder
I
McGee
re-
and I graduated from high school together. So we've known each other quite some time. And,
yes.
when you grow up with people, you watch them prayerfully evolve and change and elevate. So I'm so excited for his transformation and elevation, and I'm grateful for mine as well. And his wife, she's
Beautiful.
wonderful too.
Yes, she is. She's such a sweetheart. We just
Yeah.
we just had Elder McGee on last week, last Thursday, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about all his accomplishments he's done since the last time he was on the show. So yes, I'm excited about what he's doing, what God is doing through him.
Yeah.
Enough about Elder McGee because we talked about you last week. We're going to talk. We're going to focus on we're going to focus on Queen Rhea on today. Listen, if any of you guys have any comments or questions for my guest on today, don't be shy. Throw it into the comment section, whether you're on Facebook Live, Instagram here, YouTube. I will interact with you, and if there's anything that you want to say to her on today, we can make sure that we do that throughout the course of this interview. So feel free, and also feel free to tag individuals into this live feed. Make sure you share. I always tell you it costs you nothing to share, not a red cent, not a brown, whatever. It doesn't cost you anything to share. And go ahead and throw up the emoticons, the love, the heart button, the care button, the thumbs up, if you would not mind. That way, you're pushing this live feed out and reminding individuals that we're on. And then those who will have an opportunity to listen to it later in its entirety can do so. So let me just jump right in. And I see you guys coming in. Thank you so much, even on Instagram. Let me recognize you guys. How about I do that? I think y'all like when y'all names are called. I see you, James Driver. I see you, Adele. Thanks for coming in. Also, I see Elder McGee. He was one of the first ones telling us, let's get this party started. We got to start it. We got to start it. Beatrice Carter is here. Thank you so much. She says, good afternoon, Annette and everyone. Thank you for coming in. Janice Pritchard, thank you for coming in. She liked and shared. And Buddy Gill, wow, wow, Buddy Gill is here. Thanks for coming in, Buddy. We appreciate you. And then others who are on here, go ahead and just yell out. I'm sorry, put in the comments. I got thrown off. Elder McGee Thomason, you could never talk about me enough. This is true. This is very true, but I don't want to do that on here. I could talk about you later. No. Okay, let's do this. Rhea has shared some wonderful information about herself with us, and I just want to ask her. So, your passion. I want to talk about your passion because you obviously have worn a few hats in your lifetime, in your career. What is your real passion, and what motivated you to explore that particular area?
My passion is women. And by that, I mean the celebration of the uplifting of women because we have, myself included, been through a lot. And I'm not saying that men don't, but being a woman and knowing how hard my childhood was, not because my parents, I had wonderful parents, but not feeling pretty enough, not feeling smart enough, not feeling good enough. And that set the stage for certain things to happen that taught me some life lessons. And I know that I wasn't put through anything that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
But it also showed me that there are so many women that struggle even in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even sometimes in our 70s, with who we are, how we look, our thought process. And I want us to love ourselves, because when you love yourself, there's certain things you just don't accept anymore.
Yes.
There's certain behaviors you don't allow anymore. And the world will tell you that certain things are okay, but the word tells you that they aren't. And so you have to get to that point, though, of inner assessment and then willingness to grow and change to recognize that. Because sometimes it's so normal to be mistreated in some people's lives that they don't even recognize it as mistreatment.
Wow.
And having been my last 22 years of my career at the domestic violence courthouse, I've seen my share of mistreatment.
Hmm.
And so, and not all of it was women victimization, but most of it was.
Okay.
And speaking on that level, most of it stemmed from learned slash taught behaviors. You know, when you as a child witness domestic violence, if I recall the statistics correctly, you are 10 times more likely to be an abuser or abused as an
Hmm.
adult in your intimate relationships.
Yeah.
When your loved ones tell you certain things about you that are hurtful, remember that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? That's a lie.
Hmm. It's a huge lie.
Words hurt. And in having the pageant, I've had women tell me, my mother told me I was too fat, too short, too ugly, too dark to be a delegate in anybody's pageant. This is the person that gave birth to you, and they
Wow.
would tell you that.
Wow.
The man you're married to would tell you, don't nobody want to see you on the stage. I've had women tell me this,
Hmm.
and it's hurtful and it's impactful. It actually lasts longer than a fist in the face
Hmm.
because the black eye fades, but the emotions that you feel when somebody degrades you doesn't fade so fast.
Yeah.
So that's been my motivation for most of what I've done as an adult, is to let women know that you are enough. And once you decide that you are enough, you'll see the change.
Hmm. Yeah.
You'll see the change in you and around you. Because once people can no longer mistreat and use you, they'll fall off.
Yeah. That's true. Well, I love it, and we need that. And I love how when you talked about your pageant, that you start off. I think you start off at 21, and then you kind of go on up with as far as the ages are concerned. But we need that. We don't know how much we as women need that. We carry so much on our
Mhm.
shoulders. And I guess my eyes kind of bugged when you were mentioning about the women who said that their mom said that they really shouldn't even be on stage. I thought you were getting ready to say that their mother used to tell them that when they were little. But this is obviously currently, happening in their lives, and we just don't know how many are experiencing the same thing the same time, those who weren't even in your pageant, you know what I mean? So I love how women are your pageant, and you want to let them know, you can make it, you could do it, you're beautiful. And having this pageant to kind of like back that up. So thank you. Somebody had to do it, and I believe God blessed you to do it, so thank you so much. So let's see
He
here.
actually gave me the vision to do it. And we set up a collaborative environment
Okay.
For the young ladies that are a part of the Beyond Beautiful World pageant system, they don't compete against each other. They compete against themselves. You're competing to
Ah,
be the best woman you can be that night. That's your sister friend, and she's
yeah.
competing against herself. So we don't have that vicious, cutthroat competition feel of woman against woman. It's you versus you. The you
Yeah.
were yesterday compared to the you are today. That's it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. You ladies that are on here, my goodness, don't y'all just love this? I mean, it's just like it just brings so much life and hope. It brings hope. That's what I'm hearing here. And again, we need this. We don't know who is smiling in our face and go home and cry for the rest of the night, you know, uh,
Absolutely.
because of what somebody may have told them or how they've been brought up or how they've been told that they look to others. So keep pushing on. And you know what? Whatever we can do to help you to keep going, we want to do that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Buddy Gill says here, the power of the tongue, life and death. That is so
Yes,
true. So true.
absolutely.
He also says he was born with hearing loss in both ears. And he can tell you from life experiences, there are times when he's thankful for his hearing impairment. He doesn't need to hear everything. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Negativity. Yeah, the negativity I know you don't want to hear. It's
Mm,
hurtful. So
yeah.
I understand.
Definitely, definitely. Thanks for that comment, buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. I'm just loving that passion. I love what you talk about. I want to move forward to talk about your book, your latest creation. This is the main reason why we're here on today, and I want to get this right. I love this title, guys. Listen to this. Where is this at? Girl, bye. 10 lies women think and tell themselves about men. I just wanted to say it like that, y'all. Girl, bye.
Because that's how I say it. That's something I say all the time. And that's how I say, girl, bye.
I love that. I love it. And you guys, I'm going to make sure, let me go over here because I want to put her book, is it that you can pre-order now? Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So you can pre-order now. What I'm going to do is go to over here and put it in the comments section where you guys can pre-order her book. So talk to us about this book while I'm typing this in here. Girl, bye. I just want to say girl, bye. Girl, bye. How did you even
Well,
come about with this? What I want to know reason why you had this title. I want to know why you even wanted to talk about something which is obviously prevalent and it happens all the time. We're always telling ourselves this and telling ourselves that. But you said 10 lies women think and tell themselves about men. How do we come about with this book?
I am a part of Dr. Sonia Stribling's program for women that are looking to be speakers and coaches. And one of the challenges she issued was writing that book that's in you in 90 days. And actually,
Okay.
I think it was 30 days. And I had this book in the back of my mind, but I'm doing other stuff. So when she issued the challenge, I said, okay, let me just stop playing around and let me do it. And then I was like, what am I going to write about? And I said, well, I am a transformational mindset coach. I am not a relationship coach,
Okay.
but a lot of what women spend their time thinking about is their relationships with men. So I said, well, I'm not going to go into that what I call more traditional vein of, how to get a man, how to keep a man. I want to go a little bit deeper into our thought process when we're dealing with, when we're attempting to get with a man, because a lot of the issues we have in relationships are about our mindsets, ours and the man's.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you don't, again, realize what it is because it's so normal for you. So I thought about some of the lies that I had been told that I have observed, that my friends and I have discussed. And I put together the top 10 list that we had. And I wrote chapters about each one because some of it I was like, girl, we got to stop this, that. But the purpose of the book is to illuminate some of those thoughts. Some of us have them, some of us don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then evaluate, how did we get to this place? And then prayerfully have the courage to, if need be, go to therapy and make an adjustment to change how we are thinking, because what you think drives how you operate. And we are very, very serious about our relationships, but we are not always as serious about finding out deeper in ourselves how we got to this place in our relationships.
Yeah.
So I do have a list of lies. There's the book cover. So I don't have chapters, I have lies. So each,
Oh,
it's a lie number one, and that would be the equivalent of chapter number one. So that's how we
okay.
go.
That was creative. That was creative. Now let me ask you this real quick. Was it hard to narrow down to 10? And why 10?
I didn't want it to be a huge, thick, overwhelming book because my writing style is similar to my speaking style. So it has a little sarcasm. It has the lie. I flesh out the lie, and then I tell the truth versus that lie. And I give you some 4 points at the end of each lie to think about.
Okay.
So Tashina Davis, who is my publisher at Publish Your Gifts, has been a tremendous help to me to get this together because she helped me tighten it up and she helped me get it right. But it was literally, some of it was shocking to me. Some of it
Mm,
was shocking. And I was like, yeah, we kind of, if we're doing this or we're going through it, we're not the only ones.
yeah.
So let's put it out there so that women can have these conversations and can have that conversations with their daughters and sons. And men can also chime in to say what they think about these lies, because one of the biggest issues I find is I'm thinking one thing, he's thinking another thing, but we never communicate about our individual thoughts.
Yeah.
And so when men operate a particular way, I may call you, girl, Annette, he did so and so and so and so and so and so, and I feel so and so and so, but I never tell him that.
Ooh.
And so I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. And he doesn't know why I'm acting like I'm acting.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have these conversations sooner versus later so you
Yeah.
can either find that you are compatible or we're better off just as homies. And that's
Mm-hmm.
fine too. Instead
Okay.
of getting so deeply invested in situations, because the more time I find that most women spend, the more time that they're going to spend, because they don't want to, quote unquote, lose the time they've already invested. Well, that time is already gone.
Yeah.
And that's like what the old saying was, you're throwing good money behind bad. You you're holding on to something just because of the time you put in it. Guess what? You're gonna put in more time and be in the same place 2 years later and be just as mad, if not more,
Wow.
because you
Wow.
won't make those decisions. Because a lot of us don't want to hear the truth of the answer.
Mm-mm. And that's the truth. We don't want to hear the truth of the
Right.
answer.
If I don't say anything, maybe he'll get to where I want him to be. Versus, I need to say something, and maybe this isn't the intimate relationship for me.
Right. Right. Mm-mm-mm. This is interesting. Now, this website that I have placed in the comments section, this is the book's website, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Girl by 10 Lies Women Think and Tell About Men, tell themselves, excuse me, about men. So we're in the pre-order stage. When does the book, when does it come out?
Actually, if they place their order today or here forward, I can, since we're self-publishing to a degree,
Okay.
which I am super excited about, I'll get the order and then I'll get the book to you because I'm the one personally doing the autographing and shipping. So I'm going to autograph the books and then I'm going to ship them. So
Okay.
once you place your order, I order every week now. I just ordered my first batch because we just got out of the pre-order sessions. So I'm excited. So yes,
Okay.
every
All
week
right.
I'm replacing my orders, autographing and sending them right back out to you.
Okay. All right. So we're not necessarily in a pre-order stage. We can just order now.
Right. And
Okay.
I'm gonna do my sign off, girl. Thank you from Ria, and then put it in the mail.
There you go. Get your personalized copy, guys. Okay, I'm looking
Absolutely.
here on the book's website, and I love this intro that she has about the book. As women, we sometimes think that our love is enough to make a crooked line straight. Boy, my goodness, how often have we come across that? And how true is that one statement right there? It says, we overlook and tolerate unacceptable behaviors just to stay in a relationship. But finally, someone is calling us out and saying, girl, bye. Sometimes we need that, and we can look at this book, guys, as like your best friend, like, girl, come on, really, girl, bye. Let me tell you, and kind of get us in line. We all need that, as women. And we're not leaving out the men, because y'all need to understand some stuff about us too. So I know she mentioned about the men earlier, but it says here, this is a must-have book for you and your sister friends in case you ever need to confront a lie or borrow a lesson. And I think we can each learn from each other. We can all learn from each other. And this book is good to start us off. What do you see happening with this book? Do you see, it going out and maybe in book clubs, or maybe people can sit down in sessions and talk about this book? What do you see happening for this particular book?
I've already gotten requests from book clubs, so definitely that. But it's a part of the bigger conversation through my Dust to Daybreak transformational coaching and speaking, in that we have to understand ourselves. And then we have to make a list, literally in some cases, of what it is we do and do not want from ourselves and from other people. And then be willing to stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often one of the problems I've had with friends, not my personal problem, but I have screamed the roof off with one friend in particular, is about her allowing certain treatments. And I told her, you don't have to take this.
Yeah.
But she, in dealing with a particular illness, felt that this person at least knew what she was going through. She didn't want to risk starting over with someone else who would then, once they found out what her situation was, abandon her.
Mm-hmm.
Her desire to be with anybody overrode her love for herself.
Wow. Wow.
And so these are the kind of conversations that I want this book to generate.
Yeah.
And the second lie, I don't want your young children reading, but I do want teenage girls to have this book also, because that's what, in the statement you read about borrowing a lesson, if
Mm-hmm.
we can catch them before they get into the behavior, we will have a whole lot less instability in our homes, in our families, in our communities.
Yeah.
So the lie I don't want the childrens to read is called the Platinum Blank Package. Will attract and keep the right man.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right.
And there are women, I've met them, I know them, some of them, who believe that I'm going to call it a pocketbook, your personal pocketbook, that your personal pocketbook is going to be good enough, strong enough, and long term enough that he's going to stay, that you're going to get him and he's going to stay. And yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie.
That's a huge lie.
That's a huge lie. But there are women that truly believe it, that
Yeah.
your sexual game is strong enough and important enough to attract that man that you want.
Yeah.
And it's not that he will not engage. Oh, he'll have sex with you. But all that other stuff that you want to come with it, that guy may not even like you.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
But they'll do the sexual engagement because that's what they're in it for, and that's what you're offering.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's I've actually spoken not about the book, but I've spoken at junior high and high school levels occasionally. And I saw even at younger ages, like I said, junior high, already I had girls exhibiting certain behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you all need to stop this now. And I was telling the teacher, she actually needs to go see someone in a couple
Okay.
of cases because there's something that is happening or has happened to her that has already escalated her behavior too far.
Yeah. And
And
it's
that's why I don't want to see 20 years from now having been beaten down by life and her decisions when she could have been stopped today.
exactly because that's what's going to happen. It's going to affect her life's decisions. It is.
Oh, for
And, you know,
sure.
and not just for her, of course, for all of us. So that's why we want to do this kind of preventive maintenance if we can. And I believe your book is one of the resources that we can use. Um, and you were when you were talking about your friend, I was thinking it almost as if she feels she has to settle, like you said, because of her medical condition, and she doesn't want to start over with somebody else, and that happens a lot. That happens a
It
lot.
does. It
You know.
does. Um, I have a medical condition. I have sarcoidosis.
Oh.
And I told my now husband then early, I'm talking about when I talked with him enough to find out that I was interested in going further.
Hmm.
Before I before we went any further, I said, "Hey, listen, I need to talk with you about something that's serious because you may not want to deal with this."
Right.
And we talked about it, and you know, thank God, I guess he said, "That's okay. We can manage you. If you can manage it, we can manage it."
Yeah.
But I wanted to give him that opportunity to say no because not everybody wants to.
Hmm.
So I get her fear and I get her wanting to have someone with her in her life. Most people do,
Yeah.
but not to the point that I'm going to deal with you because I'm a hostage to my fear of being without you.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
And that's where that goes in a lot of cases. But there's always going to be someone, even when you aren't necessarily looking, because I wasn't looking for my husband when I found him. But there's going to be someone that's for you. You
Yeah.
have to be willing to be patient, wait, and know what it is that you actually want and don't want. And a lot of times we don't
That's
know
very
that.
true. Right. And if we can avoid bumping our head, let's
Right.
do that. Listen to
I
somebody
just
else
want
that.
to. I want to be able to say I have a man. Okay, well we can
Right.
say that, but what kind of man?
Okay.
What is he about? Do you have somebody's grown child at your house, or do you have a man? There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
have someone that's into you because of what you can do for him, or is he into you because he loves you? There's a difference.
There is a difference. Huge.
And if you don't know for yourself what you're willing to accept, you'll take anything. And there's enough of them out here to give it to you.
Lined up.
Yes.
That's for sure. Okay, this is good. Let me read this comment. Buddy Gill says, once you learn to set boundaries and start using the word no, watch how quickly you clean house and enlighten or lighten your load. Having friends is great, but I've learned a lot walking alone. Yeah.
He's absolutely correct. Before I met my husband, I went on a 2-year sabbatical from dating,
Okay.
period, because I felt like I had spent so much of my adult life wanting to be in a relationship, being in a relationship, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not even really knowing who I wanted to be for myself and who I want to be in that journey with me. So I took those 2 years to really figure that out.
Good.
And when that time ended was when my husband showed up. So he's definitely right.
See?
There's a time you need walking
Yeah.
alone is fine. I'm an only child, so I am quite comfortable being alone. And
Okay.
and it's not so easy for everybody. Some
Mm-mm.
people are very uncomfortable being alone. I had to learn that too because I was like, "What's the problem, girl? Why are you going through this?" But it was like
Okay.
she's just different from me. And I said, "You know what though? And I
Yeah.
know it's not comfortable for you, but I would rather you be alone than to be with someone that mistreats you." I said,
It's
"There's
true.
going to be a point where you get there." I said, "I can't get there for you, and I'm not going to abandon you because
Mm-hmm.
of it. There's going to be a day you're going to get tired of that."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for
she's
sure.
almost there. She's almost there.
Okay. Well, she got you in her corner. She gonna get there. She's
Look,
gonna get there.
look, better be glad it wasn't 30 years ago when we'd have been, been over there with Timberlands and some other stuff going on. So, we doing good now. We're acting better.
Right. At
So,
least she's honest.
yes, let me
That's
give you
good.
my number. Yep, to start with the young girls.
Yeah, to be able to see that in young girls at an early age is crucial. That is so true. Thanks,
I was
Deidre.
at an 8th grade class speaking years ago, and I pray that this young lady is okay now. And when we were talking about domestic violence, so that's what I was speaking on, almost all the young boys pointed to one young girl in particular and said, "She does that to us. She does that to us." And I knew they were telling the truth because she folded her arms up and said, "So," and I told the teacher, you need to, this is more than me at this point because you need to stop her now before either she hurts someone or she runs up against the one that's going to hurt her.
Hmm.
And this was 8th grade.
Now you were talking to them about domestic violence, and that question came, or they divulged that to you.
Yes.
So did it come out that she had been a victim of domestic violence herself, and in turn,
The
she
teacher did not elaborate because of confidentiality, and I did not expect her to.
okay.
But the girl did not at that time. The girl doubled down, which is a defense mechanism,
Yep.
which indicated to me that she was either taught, because some people are taught, swing
Yep.
first before they swing on you, or she had been in an abusive household
Hmm.
and was letting out that aggression by being the aggressor.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8th grade.
Okay. Yeah,
So
something had to happen, right?
More, yes, that does not naturally manifest.
Mm-mm.
No.
Wow.
Let me give you lie number 9, which is if you love him enough, he will change.
Well, that probably should have been number one. Or I don't know how you. Well, never mind. But that's a
They're not in any particular order of importance. It was just how it
okay.
was written. That's lie
Okay.
number 9.
Wow.
And women believe that. Women believe that. If I love him enough, if I give him enough, no, no,
Yeah.
no. You have to know that somebody is going to change because they decide to change,
Mm-hmm.
not because
Mm-hmm.
you want them to change.
Right.
That's a decision that you have to make. But we have
Mm-hmm.
convinced ourselves of if I do A, B, C, D, and E, then he is going to do X, Y, and Z that I want. No,
Right. Mm-mm.
that's not it.
And it's so much wrapped up in that, Rhea. It's amazing because we have to understand, of course, that we're two different people. And you can look at a lot of things. You can look at where does he fall in his family? Is he the youngest? Is he the oldest, or whatever? Because some of them are going to purposely you're trying to just we have to look at a lot of that, and understand, um, that's a lot.
It
That's a
is.
lot, thinking you're going to change these folks. It's not going to happen like that.
Some of
Um,
us can't even
that's a
change
grown person.
ourselves. Some of us aren't even willing to change ourselves, and you think you have the power to change somebody else. That's phenomenal thinking to me, and not in a good way.
I like that. I like that. That's right. That's right. I mean,
Mhm.
so reality needs to set in. And I like how you said we can't even change ourselves, or we don't even try to. So how do we think we're going to change a totally, another person? That just is not going to happen like that. And we need to come out of that, fantasy world thinking that we're going to change them. So I like that. I like that number 9. I really do. Deirdre says here, better alone than poorly accompanied. I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
I can give you the thank you, I appreciate it. She said this book sounds amazing. If I
Yes.
can give you the lie that actually surprised me the most, which is number 4.
Okay.
We live together, so he's my man.
Uh-oh. Watch out now.
I found out that was a lie. And I didn't find out from me,
Right.
but I found out through someone else. And I was in shock until I delved a little deeper in it. And it's about communication.
There it is.
Did we discuss when we decided, for whatever reason, that we were going to live together? What are we? Are we roommates?
Right.
Are we folks that live together with sexual benefits? Or are we in a relationship? What is this exactly? And it never crossed my mind because I'm guilty of this. I
Uh-huh.
assume when people opposite sex that are not biologically related and are not stated platonic friends live together, that they were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that, yeah, men will say this to you. If I didn't tell you that, you can't hold me to that.
Yeah, they will. They'll say
And
it.
so, in the example that's in the book, when I spoke with the man, again, not my man, I was an associate of the man, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not with her like that," and I never told her I was.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
"Now, mind you, she was planning the whole wedding, had bridesmaids, dresses picked out, themes, everything." And here, this dude's talking about that ain't my woman. Yeah, I live with her. Yeah, I have sex with her. I never told her she was my woman, and you're not gonna hold me that. You
Oh
could have
my,
bought me for a nickel with a hole in it. Do you
I,
hear me?
I bet you. I'm so sure.
And I didn't say anything to her. It was at that point I was like, I just because she wasn't my friend. Now she was my friend, we'd have had a different conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was an associate. But the friend we had in mutual common, I said, hey, listen, you may want to notify your girl of what's going on. Because this is what he's saying in the street. And I'm not of any interest that I'm gonna lie on him.
Wow.
And I was shocked and amazed and astounded that this whole situation was unfolding
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I assumed, just like she did on a much deeper level than I assumed, that this was her man.
Right.
And we about to go next level. And he like, no, girl, no, G. That's not what this is.
Wow. Wow.
But that's
That's
because the conversation was never had.
right.
And I'm not
Those.
saying some people won't lie. Some people will say whatever they need to say.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of guys that I have talked with have told me, and I've seen it. My son he'll be 28 on Monday.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he's been having what he calls adult relationships for a minute. And that's fine. I've seen him. I've heard him when we lived in the same house. You hear through the vents. I've heard him tell these young ladies what this was and what this wasn't.
Okay.
And they pretend like that's not what is happening. And I'm like, I know he told you because I heard him tell you. So I'm not saying that every guy's going to lie. Some guys are going to tell the truth. And the problem with a lot of women is that we don't want to hear that truth.
That's it.
Because that truth may not be what we want to do, what we want to have with this person. I want him to love me like I love him. He might not.
Mm-mm.
So maybe if I don't say anything, he'll get to that point while we're growing. Girl, you about to play yourself out. What was the song? Don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out. You about to play yourself out.
Yeah.
Don't play with my yo-yo. That's where that came from for the older crowd that knows rappers.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. But I was shocked
Yeah.
that was not something that was understood prior to your living with him and planning a whole entire wedding with bridesmaids and a whole thing.
Okay.
It wasn't communicated.
Man, communication will bring you out of that fantasy world back to reality.
What does the interest say?
She says there are only two reasons people change: if they choose to, or if God knocks the wind out of their sail.
That last one, some of them won't change for that.
Ah,
There are people that won't change it for Jesus. I'm telling you, there's some of them that's that hard.
that's
If
deep.
we can speak on one more lie, and then I'm gonna need to go down and pick up the queen of everything, also known as my mother.
That's fine.
Lie number 10. It's okay to be called a bitch.
I'm standing up I'm literally standing up. Oh my God. I'm so glad you have that in there. That I can't grasp that. Maybe it's the generation. I don't know. But go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
It's more than that because there are women our age is doing it now. I don't know if they're trying to be young or I'm not sure what that is. Let me tell you all, my mother's family is from the country. They are from Natchez, Mississippi.
Okay.
I was raised not around them a whole lot, but when I was around them, there were certain things that we were told and taught. One of those things was if somebody calls you that, you beat the brakes off of them.
Okay.
You don't even ask any questions. You don't even no, you just start swinging.
Just go for
Now,
it.
as I've gotten older and understood what assault and battery are, we had to act a little different. Got to act a little different.
Right.
But when I was younger, oh yeah, you called me. I didn't even ask no question. We just started swinging. Now, men do it. A, pimps used to do that. My bottom bitch. That's when it was
Mhm.
most reliable, bringing him the most money. But are we pimping and hoeing? I mean, really, that's what
Right.
that's about. Or B, because that's what you allow him to call you. And the definition of that is a female dog.
Yes, it is.
And there are a couple other definitions that I outline in the book, but all of them are unpleasant and unpleasurable, except the one where they say it's informal.
Right.
Yeah, listen, I hold on to God's unchanging hand with both of my hands because I'm not quite sure yet today, if you call me that I'm not going to start swinging. I'm praying. Right. I said, thank you, Beatrice. It's never okay, but folks out here doing it, and I'm like, yeah, we got to stop that. And women do it to other women, and
Yeah.
I find that when I've been called that by another woman, because I've been called that on my job, and I understood it was not when I was a probation officer. I understood it was more so the situation and not me personally. I
Okay.
got it. But when I have been called that by women, not to my face, because like I said, the one
Yeah.
time I was called that to my face, yeah, I just started swinging.
Yeah,
Wrong.
that's what you was taught.
Right. I was like, I got to swing and swing. Because if I didn't swing, my family would have been swinging on me. What you let her call you that for? But
Okay.
most women that do that to other women have issues and insecurities about themselves, and they see something in you that they wish that was them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
instead of bringing themselves up to the level they want to be, they are trying to tear you down to the level where they are. And that's
True.
unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, and because it's like a regular part of the conversation now. Like I'm like you saying, "Girl, bye." They would probably say, "Bye."
Right. Right.
It's just a part of their conversation now. And like a Beatrice, I showed that earlier. She said, "I don't understand that." And I don't either. Lisa says she doesn't either. She doesn't understand that either. I can't grasp that. I did a show actually about that. About the talking, just calling your sister or your friend or whatever. It's never okay to do
No,
that.
no.
It's never. I don't care how they said. But I had some young ladies that called into the show, and we were talking. I was just trying to ask them, their questions about it, whatever. Thankfully, by the end of the show, they were like, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't be calling, my sister or my friend that, or
Mhm.
whoever. And it kind of got through to them. I was grateful of that because we tried to break that down, where the word comes from and the definition of it and all that and the meaning behind it.
Right.
I
But
think
you know what?
sometimes, what was that?
If I can interject this really fast, and I
Sure.
hate this. Again, having worked at the domestic violence courthouse, I've seen a lot more than probably the average person.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot of the young ladies I've seen under those circumstances use that term because, again, somebody that quote unquote is supposed to love them calls them that. I've seen mamas call their daughters bees in the
Mm-hmm.
street.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
seen I've seen fathers, which is actually more rare. More so, mothers will do it than fathers. But I have seen fathers call their daughters bees in their
Wow.
face. So to desensitize, it's almost like how we do the N word. To take
Mm-hmm.
the power away from the sting, we claim it as our own. But guess
Right.
what? It's still the same sting.
Yep.
But when someone you love calls you that, I guess your only defense is to at least make it tolerable and
Yeah.
claim it for your own. The
Yeah.
problem is somebody you love should never call you that
Never.
under any conditions.
It's never okay. I don't know how y'all get off, but it's never okay. Never okay to do that. Listen, we're going to wrap up today, but I have placed in the comments section the link for you to order your book. And I'm trying to go back to it so I can pin it. But so that those who are coming in after this live feed, who are going to watch it, they can be able to purchase your book. I think it's a great book. I have not read it, but I think it is a great book to have for, like we said, book clubs and um, for lessons, to teach lessons on it. You
To
know,
start the self-evaluation process,
mm-hmm,
to evaluate you and who
yeah,
you allow in your space.
I like that. I like that. Because we all queens, and so we have to make sure we carry ourselves as such.
Any
So
title you carry has a job description.
there it is. There it
Fill
is.
your job description. Do
I
not
like.
allow disrespect, dishonor, mistreatment, and abuse.
Yeah, I like that. This is good stuff. Lisa says the sooner women understand this, they'll respect each other. I totally agree with that.
You got to
Uh,
love and respect yourself first, though.
yeah,
You cannot do it for someone else what you do not do for you.
I like that. Y'all, Rhea is on it. I agree with Elder McGee said earlier. She's on fire, guys. Please make sure you reach out. Go to the website that is listed. Purchase your book. You will not be disappointed. And I believe you're gonna help somebody when you get this book. Maybe
I
help
hope
yourself.
so. I
Maybe
trust. I trust that. I trust that.
right, right. Either help themselves or help somebody else.
That's
But
right.
thank you so much for taking time out on today to come in and get caught in the net and talk about your book and all that you're doing. We appreciate the efforts that you're making and the steps that you're making in this world, and how you're focusing on women and making sure that we know who we are and love on ourselves and love somebody else and respect somebody else. All right. And
Absolutely.
I, again, believe this book is going to do all of that. So thank you again. Did you want to leave us? No, I'm sorry. Let me allow you to tell everybody where they can find you.
I am more so on Facebook. So Ria, RIA, Ray, RAI. My mother, like I said, from Natchez, Mississippi, thought that was cute. Harris, Yarbrough, YARBOUGH. So please get in touch with me. Send me a friend request. Send me a DM. And any book clubs, any individual speaking, any group coaching, counseling, or speaking engagements, let me know. I'm really excited to get out here and have these conversations that we need to talk about.
Conversations that need to be had. So you guys go to Facebook, send her a request, follow her, make sure you keep up with her, and she's doing great things um, in every aspect. It seems.
Doing my best.
You know what? Do it, girl. I'm right behind you. I'm pushing and encouraging you. So thank you
Thank
again for your
you.
for your time on today, and hopefully we can have you back and see what else that you're doing and what else you're accomplishing. So thank you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to go get the queen of everything and do what she needs to have done.
That's right. You do that. You do that.
Thank you to your audience. I look forward to meeting some of them one day, hopefully in person.
Wonderful, wonderful. And they're saying they enjoyed you on today, enjoyed the show. Thank you, Trudy, for coming in. I
Great.
appreciate you. And Deidre says, what a wonderful show. I have thoroughly enjoyed you two ladies today. I will definitely order this book. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, wonderful. And Lisa is agreeing. She says, right. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. And you guys here on Instagram and also on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. As she's exiting on today, I am going to make sure that we post our show for next week. You know, it is fourth Wednesday of the month. So you know what's coming up next. So we're going to make sure we show that promo. Thank you guys for all of your support. Coming in each week to listen to us on our sessions for Get Caught in Net. And also, again, thank you for your support with Sash Talk, our discussions that we have on a daily basis. The Lord has blessed us to collaborate with WCGM, Windy City Gospel Music, with Gerald Montgomery, and he features our Sash Talk discussions on a daily basis. So we have placed the link for the radio station on my page on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and you guys can tune in every day. You can hear me every day. Also, you can get good gospel music. And please make sure the station itself and Gerald Montgomery have been nominated for Spin Awards. So we ask and encourage you to go to thespinawards.com, thespinawards.com, and vote. Please vote for Gerald Montgomery. Vote for WCGM, Windy City Gospel Music, and all of the categories that they're nominated in. And we would really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to play the outro, the promo for next week, and our outro, and we will see you soon on the next session of Get Caught in a Net.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with Annette. Get caught in a net with Annette.